Eph'siyim, Ephesians, chapters 1-3. Shaul, an emissary of Yahusha HaMashiach, by the desire of Elohim, to the Kodashim who are in Ephesus, and true to Mashiach Yahshua, favor to you and peace from Yahuah our Father and the Adon Yahusha HaMashiach. Baruch be the Elohim and Father of our Adon Yahusha HaMashiach, who has barach us with every spiritual beracha in the Shamayim in Mashiach, even as he chose us in him before the foundation of the world, that we should be kodesh and blameless before him in love, having previously ordained us to adoption as sons through Yahusha HaMashiach to himself, according to the good pleasure of his desire, to the praise of the esteem of his favor, with which he favored us in the beloved, in whom we have redemption through his blood, the forgiveness of trespasses, according to the riches of his favor, which he has lavished on us in all wisdom and insight, having made known to us the secret of his desire, according to his good pleasure, which he purposed in him, to administer at the completion of time, to gather together in one all in Mashiach, both which are in the Shamayim and which are on earth, in him, in whom also we obtained an inheritance, being previously ordained according to the purpose of him, working all according to the counsel of his desire, for us to be the praise of his esteem, those having first trusted in Mashiach, in whom you also, having heard the word of the truth, the good news of your deliverance, in whom also, having believed, you were sealed with the Ruah HaKodesh of promise, who is the pledge of our inheritance until the redemption of the purchased possession, to the praise of his esteem. For this reason I too, having heard of your belief in the Adon Yahusha and your love for all the Kodashim, do not cease giving thanks for you, making mention of you in my prayers, that the Elohim of our Adon Yahusha HaMashiach, the Father of esteem, would give you a spirit of wisdom and revelation in the knowledge of him, the eyes of your understanding being enlightened, so that you know what is the expectation of his calling, and what are the riches of the esteem of his inheritance in the Kodashim, and what is the exceeding greatness of his power toward us who are believing, according to the working of his mighty strength, which he wrought in Hamashiach, when he raised him from the dead and seated at his right hand in the Shamayim, far above all rule and authority and power and mastery, and every name that is named, not only in this age, but also in that which is to come. And he put all under his feet, and gave him to be head over all, to the assembly, which is his body, the completeness of him who fills all in all. And you were dead in trespasses and sins, in which you once walked according to the course of this world, according to the ruler of the authority of the air, of the spirit that is now working in the sons of disobedience, among whom also we all once lived in the lusts of our flesh, doing the desires of the flesh and of the mind, and were by nature children of wrath, as also the rest. But Yahuah, who is rich in compassion, because of his great love with which he loved us, even when we were dead in trespasses, made us alive together with Mashiach. By favor you have been saved, and raised us up together, and made us sit together in the Shamayim in Mashiach Yahusha, in order to show in the coming ages the exceeding riches of his favor and kindness toward us in Mashiach Yahusha. For by favor you have been saved through belief, and that not of yourselves. It is the gift of Elohim. It is not by works, so that no one should boast. For we are his workmanship, created in Mashiach Yahshua unto good works, which Yahuah prepared beforehand that we should walk in them. Therefore remember that you, once Gentiles in the flesh, who are called the uncircumcision by what is called the circumcision, made in the flesh by hands, that at that time you were without Mashiach, excluded from the citizenship of Yisrael, and strangers from the covenants of promise, having no expectation and without Elohim in the world. But now in Mashiach Yahusha, you who once were far off have been brought near by the blood of HaMashiach. For he is our peace, who has made both one, and having broken down the partition of the barrier, having abolished in his flesh the enmity, the law of the commands in dogma, so as to create in himself one renewed man from the two, thus making peace, and to completely restore to favor both of them unto Elohim in one body through the stake, having destroyed the enmity by it. And having come, he brought as good news peace to you who were far off, and peace to those near, because through him we both have access to the Father by one Ruah. So then you are no longer strangers and foreigners, but fellow citizens with the Kodashim and members of the household of Elohim, having been built upon the foundation of the emissaries and Nevi'im, Yahshua HaMashiach himself being chief cornerstone, in whom all the building, being joined together, grows into a Kodesh Mishkan in Yahuah, in whom you also are being built together into a dwelling of Elohim in the Ruah. Because of this, I, Shaul, the prisoner of Yahshua HaMashiach, on behalf of you Gentiles, if indeed you have heard of the administration of the favor of Elohim that was given to me for you, that by revelation was made known to me the secret, as I wrote before briefly. In reading this, then you are able to understand my insight into the secret of Mashiach, which was not made known to the sons of men in other generations, as it has now been revealed by the Ruach to his Kodesh emissaries and Nevi'im, the Gentiles to be co-heirs, united in the same body, and partakers together in the promise in Mashiach through the good news, of which I became a servant according to the gift of the favor of Elohim given to me according to the working of his power. To me, the very least of all the Kodashim, this favor was given to bring the good news of the unsearchable riches of Mashiach among the Gentiles, and to make all see how this secret is administered, which for ages past has been hidden in Yahuah, who created all through Yahusha HaMashiach, so that now, through the assembly, the many-sided wisdom of Elohim might be known to the principalities and authorities in the Shamayim, according to the everlasting purpose which he made in Mashiach Yahusha our Adon, in whom we have boldness and access with reliance through belief in him. I pray therefore that you do not lose heart at my pressures on your behalf, which is your esteem. For this reason I bow my knees to the Father of our Adon, Yahusha HaMashiach, from whom all fatherhood in the Shamayim and earth is named, in order that he might give you, according to the riches of his esteem by power, to be strengthened in the inner man through his Ruach, that HaMashiach might dwell in your hearts through belief, having become rooted and grounded in love, in order that you might be strengthened to firmly grasp with all the Kodashim what is the width and length and depth and height, to know the love of Mashiach which surpasses knowledge, in order that you might be filled to all the completeness of Elohim. And to him who is able to do exceedingly above what we ask or think, according to the power that is working in us, to him be esteem in the assembly by Mashiach Yahshua unto all generations forever and ever. Amen.